Hello, ASLA parents. You are watching this video because unfortunately we have had to move our ASLA classes to an online learning experience. In this video, we'll walk you through how to go about learning online in ASLA. Now, if you're not sure, I'm Mr. Brunken, our ASLA program principal here at Happy Kids, and if there's one piece of information you should be keenly aware of is my email address, which you can see here on the screen. Now, I tell you this is very important because throughout this entire process, if at any time you have any questions, concerns, or need help using any of the tools that we've made available for your child to learn and access the ASLA program online, you can just contact me. So keep this email handy, write it down, or save it so you can easily contact me if you ever experience any difficulty. Now, I'm going to guide you all through how to get started learning online at Happy Kids. So this video and the presentation here that I will share with everyone will walk you through the information you need to help your child get started learning online with us. So let me talk briefly about our overall plan and how we plan to deliver our ASLA classes online. So it all starts with open communication. We understand that this is a very new experience and a difficult one, especially for our younger learners. So we feel open communication is really important. So that's why all of our ASLA teachers, of course, have an email address, but they also have access to other Google tools. In fact, you might not know that Happy Kids, since actually for about the last 10 years, we've been using G Suite for Education to help our teachers' productivity and to help connect teachers to parents. We're going to use these tools to their full power during this time because G Suite for Education gives us access to all of Google's virtual learning tools. Um, and so not only will teachers have email, they'll also be able to chat. Um, they'll also be able to chat with students using Hangouts chat if that's something you'd like, or make video calls. Now, one thing we feel is very important is that our students be able to see their teachers during this time. And so that's why we will be scheduling and continue live class sessions at our students' regularly scheduled times throughout this period. I'll go over more details about how this will work later in this video, but all you need to know is that your child will be able to get in front of a computer and meet and see and talk with his or her teacher during this period. We'll be using Google Meet for this. Now, communication in those live class sessions are important, but we understand that coursework is also a big part of what ASLA is. Students need to do classwork in order to practice many of the skills that their teachers teach. And so the tool we're going to utilize to help our teachers assign coursework and provide quality feedback will be Google Classroom. This is an online learning management system that will allow your child to stay in communication with your teacher and her classmates, access the assignments easily, complete assignments, and post assignments when they need to, and get feedback from his or her teacher. Okay, so now that I've talked a little bit about the plan, let's talk about getting started. In the first thing we need to remember in all of this is logging in. Now you might be wondering, what are we logging into to do this? Well, as part of this move in shifting our ASLA program online, we created a Happy Kids Google account for all of our students, including your child. So the very first step to accessing what's available during this period is to log in to that Google account. So let me show you how to do that now. So the first thing you're going to need to do is to find your child's username or email address. So this has already been sent to you either by your child's teacher or from the Happy Kids administrative office. If you're not sure what your child's username or email address is, you can of course contact me. But an easy way to remember your child's email address is her first and last name with no capital letters with @happykids.taipei added at the end. For example, Sally Chen @happykids.taipei. Okay. Again, just email your teacher or me if you don't know what your child's username is, or if you can't find it, or if you forget it. Now, after you type in your child's username, Google will prompt you for a password. And right now, your child's default password is Happy Kids, no spaces, no capital letters. You will be asked to change this password after you log in for the first time, so just go ahead and do that. And make sure you write down that password because you don't want to lose it. You also want to put it somewhere where your child can find it and where both adults in the house can find it. So if anyone ever needs to help your child with their online learning experience. Again, if you ever lose or forget your password, you can just contact your child's teacher or me, and we can reset that password and get you logged in right away. So if you're not sure how to sign into a Google account, it looks like this. All you need to do is go to one of Google's service websites like Gmail or drive.google.com. Any of them will be fine. You will always be prompted with this sign in page. And so when it prompts you for an email address, again, just enter your child's Happy Kids username or email address in the box. And then after you click next, right here, after you click next, go ahead and type in the password Happy Kids and then hit next, and you should be ready to go. Now, once you get in there, once you get logged in, you want to go to Gmail. That's because it's Gmail where you're going to get started. Once you get to Gmail, you're going to notice that an email has already been sent to your child. Okay. Now, most of you know how to get to Gmail. And so once you're there and once you're logged in, your Gmail inbox should look something like this. You will see a few emails here, probably a few from Google, but you'll also see one either from me, the program principal, or your teacher inviting your child to a class. And that's where we're going to get started. Again, this is kind of the main Google user screen. A few things to keep in mind here, or one thing you want to remember here, is this 9-dot app matrix in the top right corner. This is a great place. This is a great location to walk through and introduce to your child during this time, because just one click here will open up all of the tools available to your child. Some of these that he or she will be using almost every day during this period. Okay, so once you have found that email inviting your child to join the class, it's time to join the class. So that email is an invitation. And so once you get to that email, what you want to do is open it up and it will look something like this. You will see the Google Classroom logo at the top, and you should see the invite information and text. But more importantly, in the very middle, you will see a big blue join button. Okay, what you want to do is click that. Upon clicking that, you're all set, and it'll open you up to Google Classroom. And that's where I want to pick up right now, because probably for all of you, Google Classroom is a new tool for you and will take a little bit of getting used to. So that's why it's very important that you are there with your child, helping them through this early process, especially with learning the tools. So let's talk about getting started with Google Classroom, okay, and what to do once you get it open in there. So the first thing, just like anytime you're using a new tool, the first thing you want to do is explore a little bit. And when you get to Google Classroom, what you're going to notice right away is that there are three main tabs across the top. I'll show you these right now. So you'll see there's the Stream tab, the Classwork tab, and the People tab across the top. I'll go into more detail about those later, but what you need to know now is that the Stream tab is for communication. The stream is the part of Google Classroom where teachers and students in the class can communicate with each other by posting comments, reply to comments, and it's also where information about new assignments and new tasks will be posted by the teacher. The Classwork tab is where you'll find all assigned work and instructions for that work. So one click there will give you an overview of what has been assigned, what's due, what has not been completed. And finally, the People tab is an overview of who is in the class and allows you the ability to quickly email or contact anyone in the class with just one click. So again, up here are the three main tabs. What you're looking at here is the stream. This is again the main form. It's a stream of communication. And then the other tabs sit across the top. So this is a look at the Classwork tab. Now, when you first open Classroom, you'll probably notice that this tab is empty or might just have a single task there. But this is an example of what your child's Classwork tab might eventually look like, where you'll see many assignments, their due dates, and you can just click on those to see the instructions or if your child has completed it or not. If you want to see an overview of what your child has completed and the marks and feedbacks that your child's teacher has given, all you have to do is click on the View Your Work tab, and this will give you that kind of information. Here's a look at the People page. On the People page, you'll get a list of who the teachers are. So here you'll probably see my name and your child's regular ASLA teacher's name. Then you'll see all of your child's classmates, the other students who are in the class. This is a great place to see who is in your child's class, but more importantly, it's a great place to just one-click email the teacher. So during this time, you want to talk to your child about how easy it is to send a quick message to their teacher by just coming over here and clicking the email button, and then they can ask any question they want quickly. So one thing to keep in mind about Google Classroom is that it works closely with Google Drive. Now, many of your children have used Google Drive in the classroom at Happy Kids, but this might be the first time they're using Google Drive on their own. So Google Drive is important because it's a cloud-based workstation. So all work that they do in Drive is automatically stored online, and they can never lose it, and it doesn't just get saved to your computer. So no matter what machine they're using, they'll always be able to find it as long as they remember their login information. So Google Drive is important during this period because many teachers will be using Google Drive or ask students to use tools in Drive to assign work. So if you want to know where to find Drive, again, just click on that 9-dot app matrix and your child can quickly jump to Google Drive. Once they get there, they should quickly find the Google Drive screen, and they can find folder, or they can find their drive where they can easily create and store files using the New button. So here's something to talk about your children during this time, and that is how to be successful when using a computer. So when using Drive, it's no different than using a hard drive on a computer, and that's an important lesson to teach your child and help them practice. For example, create folders. Folders are just like real folders in the real world, as you know. It helps the students keep their files organized. Coach them to name everything. When you create a file in Google Drive, documents are always default titled Untitled Document. So nothing's worse than having about 15 documents in Drive all titled Untitled Document. So remind your children to quickly rename everything. Your child's teacher will also probably send these reminders to your child. Also, give your child opportunity to practice. The best way to learn any app is to just get in and use it. Very little harm can be done with your child playing around on Google Drive. So let's talk about how your child can complete work using Google Classroom. Okay, so as we talked about already, the first step is finding the assignment. Now, if you remember, the best place to find the assignment that your child's given is in the Classwork tab in Google Classroom. However, your child will also be uh, that assignment will also be shared in the stream in Google Classroom, and your child will also probably be sent an email to their Gmail account about newly assigned work. So, for example, you can see here in a Gmail account of a student, new assignments, emails from your child's teacher with the parentheses classroom show new assignments. This will happen every time your child's teacher posts a new assignment. They might also get reminders about assignment that's due in the email. But children can also look in the stream. The stream's a great first place to go anytime they sign into Classroom because they will see if new assignments have been posted, if their teacher has posted any announcements, or if their classmates have asked any questions. But of course, you can always go to the Classwork tab. That's where all work and assignments will be posted automatically, just like you see here. If I open up the Classwork tab, I'll see all of the assignments that have been assigned by the teacher in chronological order. During this time, you want to make sure your child is logging in every day at their regular class time, or maybe even before their regular class time, to check what work needs to be done. So once you've found an assignment, it's important to read the instructions. These instructions will be included with the assignment. So all you need to do is really click on either the post and stream, the email you were given, or the assignment in the Classwork tab, and you will see all the information you will need, as well as any resources or documents that your child will need to complete the assignment. it looks like this. So if I go to the classwork tab, for example, and I click on an assignment, I will see all of the instructions here. And in this case, the teacher has created a doc for me to complete this assignment. This is not always going to happen though. Sometimes your child might be asked to create their own document or upload a file to complete the assignment. Just please check and read the instructions carefully. Remember, if the instructions don't make sense or your child's having difficulty with them or you are having difficulty with them, be sure to contact your child's teacher immediately. Your child's teacher is available to answer those questions at any time. So here's a deeper look at an assignment and kind of what to expect when you open an assignment in the classroom, in Google Classroom. So again, I see the instructions, and I see here's the document that I'm going to turn in. Sometimes this will be created automatically. If it's not, I'll see a feature here that says add or create a file in order to turn in with this assignment. Sometimes, for example, with practice book pages, the instructions might ask you to take a picture using your phone. This is where you're going to add a file, such as a picture of those completed practice book pages to turn in. Once you add all the files you need for this particular assignment, click the Turn In button. The Turn In button will then let the teacher know that the assignment is complete, and then your child's teacher will provide feedback. You will see that feedback here in private comments, or sometimes you might see it here in class comments. Class comments, remember, these are comments that everyone in the class will be able to see. This is a good place to put questions that you think will be helpful to the whole class. Private comments will only be read by your teacher. So a lot of times, probably all the time, teachers will leave feedback here. Remember, sometimes feedback on an assignment will be put inside a document, if it's a typed Google document, that is. Okay, so I've already talked a little bit about completing assignments, but remember, just like regular school, you want to make sure students follow the instructions and complete the assignments and tasks they are given. This is important. With online teaching and learning virtually, you don't have the pressures of the clock in the classroom and the teacher standing right there to encourage the child to finish. Unfortunately, that duty is going to fall on you as the parent during this time. But this is also a good time to teach your children independence, teach them how to manage their time, and teach them responsibility to complete the work that they're given. Okay, so this is a good time to teach students how to take control of their learning experience by emailing the teacher when they have questions, leaving class comments to see if any of their other classmates can answer them, or of course, students can communicate with their teacher using a chat feature or the private comment box. Now, don't forget, the only way your teacher is going to know if the work has been finished is to turn it in. You must click that Turn It In button so the teacher knows it is finished. Again, to do this, you just open up the classwork tab, find the assignment, upload or attach the files that you need. Okay, and that's what this looks like here. When I click the Add button, I have an option to include all sorts of documents, okay, to complete the assignment. And once I have everything added, then I just click the Turn In button. If you need to create a doc, for example, something in Google Drive to turn in, click the Google Drive option here, and you can open and create any kind of document to complete the assignment, and it will be automatically attached here and then turned in. Once again, if you are turning in pictures of, for example, completed practice book pages or pages of writing in the child's journal, you'll want to take pictures of those. Click the Add or Create button, select File, upload those from the computer, and then click Turn It In. Now, if you remember earlier in this video, I talked about how an important feature of this online learning experience for ASLA will be attending virtual classes. A virtual class is a class that your children will attend in a virtual meeting space. Think of it as a video conference, except for school. So for this feature, we're going to be using Google Hangouts Meet. So to attend a class online with Meet, your teacher will be scheduling these sessions in Google Calendar. The reason we use Google Calendar is because Google Calendar creates the URL the URL that you will need to put into your web browser to attend that meeting. In fact, probably by the time you log into this account, you will see all of those virtual Meet class sessions already scheduled in Google Classroom. And if you need help, another place to look for these scheduled sessions are in Gmail. So once you look in Gmail, you'll probably see something like invitation from your teacher or from me, the principal, about certain live class sessions. All you have to do is open those up. It'll take you to Google Calendar. But again, Google Calendar is a great place to find all of these. Again, simply go to that 9-dot matrix, click Calendar, and open it up, and you will see these little scheduled boxes. Once you click on there, you will notice that it says Join Hangouts Meet, and you will see a URL right here. That's very important because this is your ticket to joining that live session. So again, we use Google Meet because it's very easy and it doesn't require any additional applications or any additional signing in or logging in or adding accounts. Simply find that URL from Calendar, put it into your web browser, and click Join. Remember, to fully participate in these virtual sessions, it is important that your child has a webcam and a microphone, I should say a working webcam and a microphone connected to the computer that they're using. We recommend using a PC or a Chromebook during this time rather than a parent's phone. This will allow the student to have a better online learning experience. So once you are at Meet, again, paste that Meet URL into your web browser, just like this, and it'll take you to a page that looks something like this. You will probably be prompted to allow Google Chrome or whatever browser you're using to access your microphone and your camera. You should click Allow here. Once you do that, you will see buttons right here that ask you to join now. It's a green button. Just click that and you can see it posted here. You should see your camera working here. You should see your microphone. Again, pay attention to those little dots down here. If you don't see them bouncing around, it means your microphone's not working at the moment. Make sure you click here, those little 3 dots on the right side, to access the settings and to fix that problem if possible. Again, if you're having difficulties connecting, make sure you contact your teacher or me so we know. So once you're at this page, you have the URL put in, you've allowed Google Meet to access your webcam and your microphone. All you need to do is click the green Join Now button. And once you do that, you are ready to learn. So remember, that's about all you need to get going with this online learning experience. We understand that it will be difficult and it'll be a tough transition at first. That's why we want you to know that not only your child's teacher, but also myself and the rest of the Happy Kids admin team is going to be available to help you get adjusted and get started during this experience. We know this isn't a complete replacement of all the great things that happen in the Happy Kids classroom, but these are difficult times, and we think this is the best that we can do to help provide a quality learning experience for your child. We also want to let you know that your child can easily send messages back and forth to your teacher. Sometimes this is easier for children rather than typing up a full email. When they open up their Gmail account, they can very easily add their teacher to or a classmate to their chat menu right here using Google Hangouts. Simply click the plus button here and put in your teacher's address. Once you do that, you'll be able to send messages back and forth to your teacher to quickly get questions answered. Your teacher has been informed that they should be available to answer questions and concerns this way as well as through email and the classroom stream. So remember, before I close out today, I want to do some final reminders. And one of the most important ones is to set a schedule. Learning from home is difficult, and during this time, you're going to be spending a lot of time at home with your child. So it can be easy to fall into a weekend habits or holiday habits, but you don't want to make sure that doesn't happen because your child still has important classwork and other responsibilities to do during this time, even though they have to stay at home. So remember, make a schedule. That's probably the biggest advice I can give you. Set and keep a daily schedule throughout the day and try to make sure everyone keeps to that schedule. You want to schedule a certain chunk of time for Happy Kids, as well as for the child's other school activities, if they have them, in order to do during this time. Especially make sure that you set aside your child's normal ASLA class time because that's when the virtual meet sessions will take place. But be sure to set aside other time so they can complete and work on their assignments if they can't get them done during their regular ASLA time period. Now, it's very important that this daily schedule is kept. In fact, I would recommend setting consequences. If your child, for example, refuses to do their work during the time, maybe consider implementing an early bedtime or reducing their screen time throughout the day just to let them know that they're welcome to have the fun they want as long as their work gets done first. And remember, make it a family rule. So even if mom and dad are having to work from home during this time as well, show your children that you set a schedule and that you stick to it. So again, thanks for listening to this video. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at jbrunken at Happy Kids Taipei. And together we'll get started learning online at Happy Kids.